Damn, firsthand accounts. I was like, shit.
I was like, so you seen it in person?
I was like, where's the recording so you could bring me back to the show? I'm here
Live
live
for
at the
generations
Travis
to
Scott
come.
concert. Bodies are flying
I
everywhere.
think I do something different real quick. But yeah, no. So obviously, Travis Scott, this famous rapper, he's dating Kylie Jenner. I think they have 2 kids together. Anyways, he had an event called AstroFest. And, obviously as rappers and events, they want to perform for the fans and the audience. But he has been known to have very crazy events. So I was bored one day watching Instagram feed and I was like, I got nothing else to do. I should do homework. Nah. So I ended up coming across the article where 8 people died. And I was like, that's interesting. So the way everything worked between both sides is people think that it was more of a satanic ritual where they were all jumbled up together. So basically, imagine us four in a very tiny closet trying to listen to music and have fun. And
Sounds
people
like
were trying to get his
days.
Exactly. They were trying to get his attention because people were saying, "Hey, people are unconscious on the floor." Now, what that side said was that since they were all jumbled up, anytime somebody waved their hand or like started, waving them or anything like that, any pocket of space that was created got filled because, we're all sardines in that event. And then people were trying to breathe, but because everybody's on top of each other and there's so much hot air from, breathing that you couldn't breathe correctly. So it felt like you were suffocating. And then there were people saying that there was like a pile, not a pile, but like, I guess when people started falling in the middle of the area, then people would be just falling down, but it felt like they were getting sucked into it, almost like you're getting sucked into hell. So that's where the satanic portion came in. So they were saying that supposedly they saw a demon walking on stage, Travis Scott didn't do anything, so on and so forth. When you look at the second argument, it's okay, well, there's a safety issue with so many people trying to get in at once, trying to rush to the center, like, to the front of the stage. And there's EMTs trying to do everything, but, I heard it was like 50,000 fans versus 100 people at best in terms of security, EMT, and all that. So there was an issue with that. And there was so much noise going on that they couldn't hear anything. And you got 2 EMTs, from what I heard, trying to save people, but you're trying to navigate and your teammate like leaves because he's trying to save somebody. So now you're on your own and you see people on the floor and they're unconscious, but then you're getting trampled on because people are trying to figure everything out. It was a crazy mess from what I heard in the story. So at first I was like, okay, I can see the satanic portion of it because they were saying how the entrance to the stage looked like this painting. I don't remember the name, but basically a painting that depicts hell and all the demons and all that. And then the way the music was, it was more like a satanic ritual. And Travis Scott wasn't paying attention. But there's 2 sets of videos where Travis Scott doesn't acknowledge the situation. And then there's another video where he is concerned, is trying to stop the music. So it's a crazy story. And there is video proof. It's just really hard when you're outside of it. Like, for example, me, where I wasn't there. It's just really hard to see what happened when you have both sides trying to figure this out. Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
I mean, this is a concert. It was organized weeks in advance because nothing gets done overnight. Mm-hmm. Obviously this ain't the first concert that he does, right?
Right.
And I'm assuming it gets bigger every time, or does it get like? I mean, is it always the same amount?
It's gotten bigger because
he has a pretty good. He has a pretty good fan base. So yeah.
Okay. So the organizers weren't prepared for what was going to happen, obviously. Mm-hmm. And all I hear is people talk what I heard was that he's up there singing and he's watching people being carried out and they were dead. I'm like, how does he know up there? Because the shot that I seen from stage is that person's dead. What if that person could be passed out, right? Should he have shown more concern? He has a show to do for 50,000 plus people. Mm-hmm. Could he have stopped there like other artists have done? Probably, yeah. But he has to enter. He's there to entertain. Now, I'm not taking away from anything that all those from the 8 lives that were lost, but a lot of that is based on the organizers' fault, right? And they have 50,000 people running to the front because everybody wants, and it basically it's what's been happening with COVID and this era. Everybody's wants to they're on for their own. They're in for their own. They're just there. So they all ran at the same time and try to make it to the front, and people got trampled, and nobody give the fuck about it. So now he's he's getting blamed over it because he didn't stop. Maybe he did, and you said there's other footages that says that he stopped. But how is he to blame for stuff like that?
So here's where the mixed reviews come in. You can see in other concerts where he's literally invited the people in the front of like the stage to just jump on stage while security's telling him, no, don't do this because there's too many people, we can't control it. And people have literally jumped on stage and just overcrowded security. He literally, in like certain videos, will welcome the craziness and people jumping off of certain things from stage. That's his show. He wants to kind of set that mood up. But at the same time, were they prepared for all of this? No, I feel like they were completely understaffed. I feel like knowing the type of environment that he provides with like a concert setting, they should have had more. As far as him hearing, because you can see certain videos where people are literally screaming, stop the show, stop the show. Like you see groups of people on like TikTok and Instagram saying that because they're trying to save people who are clearly getting trampled on. But you can see him multiple times. Like it gets quiet and people are screaming. I don't know if they hear it or he hears it.
He can't. He won't be able to hear it. He has an earpiece.
He can't.
On stage, this is what as an artist, I give you an artist perspective. Mm-hmm. We have, and he's on a higher level. He has a ear monitor that he can hear the music. Some people have 2. Music on one side, his voice on the other.
Yeah.
Speakers. So speakers facing the audience. So if the audience is trying to scream over the music that he's playing,
can't hear that.
He's not gonna hear.
He's not gonna hear it.
No,
he's hearing the timing, the music that's in his ear, and he's hearing himself if it's in tune on the other ear. So people could be screaming, "He's dead," or "They're dead," or "Hey, we want to sign my autograph." He's not gonna hear that. The only time he's gonna hear that during intermission, and the music stops, and he hears, and he has to. At that point, he has to focus on what that person's saying to hear it correctly. Some artists take off the earpiece so they can hear because they can't hear. Everything's through the ear.
Now the argument is all like, do you just blame him as a performer? Do you blame the staff? Do you blame this? Like, honestly, I feel like it's everybody's fault, but at the end of the day, it's literally the crowd's fault. You are welcoming that type of environment. You're making that happen. You're getting people trampled upon. Like, how does that make that situation better for anybody? One. Two.
Sorry, my fault.
No. You're good. I'm saying this isn't something new. It happens in different concerts. Clearly, this is obviously a bad situation where 8 people died, 300 plus people were injured, and he has posted videos, Travis Scott, where he's felt apologetic. He's spoken about it. He's cooperating with the investigation. He's sitting here saying he's going to take care of all legal costs when it comes to funeral costs and stuff. So he's not sitting here saying, oh, whatever, like clearly it hit him hard.
But people are arguing all that. So what people are doing, so I saw the video that he posted. Yo, there was so many funny memes about it. I'm sorry, and
that's
it was just
messed up.
But I know, the memes they made about him was funny. But I read through the comments because it was late at night, and people were saying it doesn't seem sincere. He's trying to cry. He's trying to force everything. And I watched it again after I read the comments, and I was like, oh, hold on. Why doesn't it feel genuine?
Yeah,
let me ask you this. Sorry, let me ask you this. Before you read the comment, did you feel anything when you first heard it?
When I first heard it, no, I didn't. Okay,
so because usually you got to follow that, right? Follow your initial.
Yeah. So I was watching his body language, and I was like, I was watching him, and I could tell his body language was off. Okay. He wasn't trying to be sincere. Mm-hmm.
Not to go back on that, as someone who I'll be guilty, I don't care. I've watched things like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I've seen how they speak in general. I've seen him in certain videos. That's just the way he communicates. I feel like he was still trying to be raw about it and gave his real like opinion and emotion about it. No one has to sit here and be like, oh my God, like, you know what he feels. He feels devastated. He doesn't have to sit here and put up a show on a video. Like, no one's going to do this and feel bad. So I feel like...
Well, here's the other thing. He's feeling guilty because a lot of people saying it's his fault, right?
Yes.
He is, obviously, he's the face of the concert. But,
yes,
again, from an artist perspective, he's contractually obligated to perform. The only thing that can stop that concert is nature, which is hurricanes, things like that, and obviously this. But he didn't know this was happening at the time he was performing.
Exactly.
Right? That
the only
people
argument
faint
I have
in concerts, though.
that,
But people faint in concerts. So how does he know that person's fainted or dead? He doesn't know that. He just going to continue the show.
But to counter you is, okay, if you have so many people telling you, I know, obviously the hearing and all that, but if you have people literally pointing to the situation, it becomes very difficult. How
does he know that they're pointing to that situation, what that situation is? Now, they could have gone to a director there or somebody there. They communicate over the headset to him because he has a speaker they could talk to. Hey, shit's probably going on. This is now, we got to get out of here, or we got to figure something out. And man, maybe at that moment is where you see the capture video of him saying, hey, we got to stop the show. And the video that nobody seems to have, him saying, hey, some people are hurt. We can't continue the show until we figure out what's going on. Because how about EDC concerts? How about all these other concerts that people die of drugs, usage, overheated? Nobody gives a fuck. No, it doesn't come out on the news. Yeah, it doesn't come out on the news because it's somebody that people...
They weren't just trying to tell the art, Travis Scott. They were trying to tell everybody else. And everybody else was saying, I told security, I told staff. Nobody wants to listen. So if everybody's trying to say something, then your argument of saying, oh, he can't really notice, they're trying to tell the event. I don't know how.
So how is he to blame for? I know he's the face of the event, the coordinator of the event, because it's a big company. Those concerts, big like that, those are big companies that get in charge. That he pays. They bid for him. They bid for him to do the contract with them. They bid on okay, we're gonna do 10 countries, 30 cities at $30 million, whatever. Anyway, they are the ones that should be also blamed for it, not just him. Obviously, he's the face, but they're the organizers. He's there to make sure the show goes well. He's there to listen. He does sound check. He's there to perform to the 50,000 people that show up there. And again, the footages of him, like you said, there was footages of him stopping the show and talking and trying to figure something out. That footage is not as much out there as the other footages when people are pointing out that something's wrong. So they're pointing him out to be an evil person, and they've even created ridiculous shit about the satanic shit and all that. Even that's being created over it. It's just now what they're doing is clouding everything from the real shit. First of all, we're still under the COVID pandemic, right? There's 50,000 people rushing to the front, like it's just, I feel sorry for the 8 people that that died and the other people that got hurt, but they put themselves in a position for that to happen. He can't be blamed for that. And on top of that, he's facing up to and say, I'll take care of the charges. You haven't heard anything yet. Maybe we don't know enough information about it. About the concert organizers say, oh, we'll take the blame for it. Nobody has said that but him. And now they're judging him based on because he's not crying enough. What if he's not a crier?
Yeah,
that's to me. I had this argument.
So where was the concert? Where did this concert take place?
It was in Dallas, Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Just question: does he own that venue? Like, is it like?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he doesn't own the venue. Number one, right?
Nope. In Houston.
Okay, he doesn't own the property in Houston. Number one, right? And so the only people at the concert then are the people that are on the stage and the security. There's nobody behind the stage who deals with audio and lighting and who run the event and organize it. Like, so you're telling me at that time there's not a single person that could have stepped on stage and went to him and said, "Hey, time out, there's things going on." Like, the fact people are putting blame on the artist, and I just want to let you guys talk first, but the fact people are putting the blame on the artist is just, it just shows that people want to blame people they don't like, right? Why don't they like Travis Scott? Let's be honest.
Give me one
What's
second.
the real reason? Wow, right in the middle.
Go
of
ahead.
the
He said, give him a second.
Okay, but he's the
He
one
went
who
to-
brought
he-
the topic, and now he wants to leave.
He went to get Travis Scott so
All
he
right.
can explain.
I guess. Anyway, so my whole thing is this. Why don't people like him? Let's be honest, right? Look who he's attached to. Name
I don't
one
even know who
person
he
attached to the Kardashians that people don't try to vilify, right? Reggie Bush used to get vilified. Kanye West was going to get vilified. Like, because he's tied to these individuals, people look for a reason to try to bring them down and bring them pain. You cannot blame an artist who's on stage not involved in it, because like you said, so much shit happens at concerts that if they stopped a concert every time somebody just points at something or says something, you don't know what these people are like. There could literally be nothing worth it, but the person is being dramatic and like you don't know what's fuck's going on. You're there to sing music, perform until somebody else tells you otherwise. So it's the people who own the event, who running the thing, who are backstage organizing the entire thing, who are responsible to ensure this stuff is that to when to start, when to stop, how to make things work. Because if he was late to the concert, because this has happened, if he was late to the concert, does that mean nobody knows what's going on? Nobody talks to the crowd because he runs the whole show? So that means we're all just sitting there for 3 hours? Because I used to hear stories about Eminem when he was on his drugs and he'd show up late, an hour late to a venue, right? So you're telling me those people just sat there for an hour in mystery, not knowing what the fuck was going on? Like whether the concert was going to happen? And then he doesn't show up, right? And what? Everybody just waited all night because nobody came out on stage and said, "Hey, we're sorry, but this concert's being canceled tonight." So nobody's there until the artist gets there. He controlled everything. The narrative is just, but people are going to make the narrative what they want it to be. People are out there who don't like Travis Scott for whatever reason, and they're going to use this against him. But the bottom line is, he's not responsible. And it's not his fault that the concert and the venue didn't properly handle the event. That's what it comes down to. He's just there to perform. He drives up, he gets on stage, he sings, he leaves, he goes to the next venue. That's it. It's plain and simple.
Oh, before you go, I had to change headphones because I had to activate noise cancellation because my house is loud as fuck right now.
Nobody heard you, but Nelson thinks you took a poop break, so just put it out.
So yeah, I just saw it now, bro. I was like, there was just so much going on. I was like, all right, time to change headphones.
So
you're right. You're 100% right on that. I mean, like,
well, I'm always 100% right, but that's fine.
Oh my God,
I take it back.
I need another
98% of the time.
I'm about to leave season 2 real quick, bro. I'm not gonna finish this episode.
Anyway, all right.
Go
you
ahead.
guys want to hop into the next topic?
Go ahead, Phoenix.
Or you guys have anything else?
No, right. Anything else on the Travis Scott thing?
I mean, 3 against 1. I wasn't gonna win this one. I could barely win 1-on-2. So
you can't win 1-on-1 versus me, son. Let's go. Anyway,
hold up. That one of them is questionable.
All right. So the next thing.